EGM Network.
Hey, we're back again. This is number 25. Just imagine that.
Hey, Bill,
25.
yeah.
I can't believe I've been on 25 times. I'm like a superstar, I guess.
know
it. Hey, Sir Palin is the organization that brings this broadcast to you folks, so I hope you appreciate it. And we sell third-party tax certificates on the market. So anyway, I take the risk, you take the risk. And by the way, this is Evergreen Media. Take a good look at that. These guys are unbelievable. This guy Jesse cancels his vacation last few days to be here with me. You know why? I never leave home with my American Express, and I never do a podcast without Jesse. And he's totally committed to it, right, Jess?
That's right, Bill.
All right, you're unbelievable.
Oh, thanks.
They podcast number 25, Jess. Red Sox number 25. Who was that?
Oh, man. Sam Malone.
No, no.
No?
Hey, cheer up, Jess. Cheer
Okay.
up. It wasn't Sam.
Oh.
It was Tony Canigliaro.
Oh, okay.
You know,
I think I've heard of him.
Yeah. Do you know what happened to Tony?
No, I don't.
August 18th, 1962. Tony was hit right in the old eyeball with a fastball.
That's right. Yes.
And it ruined his career.
Blinded his eye.
He was off to a hot start as a rookie, man.
Yeah.
And he really never recovered from that hitting. So there was a real tragedy. He was like the replacement for Ted Williams.
Mm.
That's what he was going to be. But
Yeah.
once he get with that injury, it was like game over.
Yeah, it's too bad.
Hey, like I repeat this, I research everything, right, Jess?
You do.
Jess will attest to that, right?
You do all the research. It's a ton, yes.
And I'm not a Dem, I'm not a Republican, I'm an American. I want everybody to act like Americans. America's the best interest of everybody. Your Republican parties, you know, they're evil. They divide us. They don't work for us. They work for themselves, right?
Sorry.
History will tell you that if you take a close look at it.
Parties do.
Our political system is a disaster. It's basically broken. And as I say all the time, this happens to be a global warming podcast, but global warming is for real. Right, Jess?
Absolutely.
Do we have that NASA picture, Jess?
We
to
do.
put up?
Yeah, let me put that up there. There
Okay.
you go. Whoop.
We want to focus on the last 10 years of that NASA picture.
Yeah.
Okay? When it shows up there in the 90s, it gets real red. See it there?
Yeah.
90s, 2000s, 2010s, 2020s. That real red area has occurred since 1990. It has really blossomed into global warming, okay? So we got to get used to global warming in the United States unless we do something about it. It is an extremely hot summer, and it will be that way in the future for a long, long time. It will only get worse. Western United States will burn all summer long, and they're showing up right now, actually, and that usually didn't kick in until September.
Yeah, we're seeing it now.
And we can now include Canada in the summer-long burn, right, Jess?
Yeah. They are burning, yeah.
Okay, so global warming today is a major problem, and it's going to get worse. So that's without a doubt, you know. So, and let me see. Moving on here, I printed Peter Hegseth. Okay, he's looking for more money. We're going to change that subject a little bit. He's looking for money, $37.5 billion for the Pentagon needs, and another $67 billion to continue the war. Unfortunately, our government can't seem to figure out a way to pay for Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid. We can't afford a needless conflict with Iran, though. I'm not sure what we're doing. We had an agreement, and Trump was saying that we trying to get them to sign an agreement, and they won't sign the agreement, but we had agreement they signed, and he tore it up in his first term. And now he wants them to sign an agreement. I don't know what's going on, Jess. What about you? Can you figure that out?
No. And I think he's declared a victory several times now, and we're still fighting.
Yeah, I know. It's
Go figure.
Who's fighting? We're just bombing, right? There's no fighting going on, right? They're just bombing them from offshore, right? Mm-hmm. We need to charge billionaire transaction fees, right? They get away with murder on this stuff. So, yeah, excuse me, right? But they're killing it, right?
Right.
Hey, what about that clock, Jess?
Oh, the good old national debt clock.
Yeah, you. Now let me see. The first time we had this, we had 39,132,132. Where are we now?
We're up to 39,260,000,000.
Oh, no, that's not bad. You know, we're picking up about 50 billion. 50 billion a week, you know. But we'll keep an eye on it. We're tracking it to 40 trillion.
Yeah.
Right? And basically, if the Congress gives all the Department of Defense, Department of War, they call it now, all that money, we'll get there pretty quick.
Yeah,
what do you
jump
think?
up. Yeah, it'll definitely jump up.
So I have a special invitation, so to speak, I guess. If you have grandkids or just kids right now, today I will show you how bad global warming is in the world. It's going to focus on the United States and focus on Europe primarily. I relate, the fear of global warming to when I was growing up in the 50s and I was smoking cigarettes. Yeah, you smoke a cigarette. It's a big deal, right? It's not going to kill you. Right. Well, global warming happening all the time. It's getting worse all the time. But, it's a big deal, right? It's not going to kill you. Someday it may. So basically, today, the same attitude exists to global warming as it was in smoking those cigarettes, Jess, And I look and see major crises evolving for the entire population of the world. Not in the United States. We're going to look at worldwide here what's going on, because it's going on everywhere in the world. That's why we call it global warming. I want to dedicate this global warming podcast. Can I do that? Can I make a dedication?
Sure, make a dedication.
Well,
make
thank
a
you
shout
so much.
out. Sure.
I want to dedicate it to the President of the United States and all those forever Trumpers. Okay? Because I really want those forever Trumpers to take a look at this. Remember, as we go through this, Donald J. Trump, global warming is a hoax. He said that 1,000 times. And if he keeps saying it, people tend to believe it. You know what I mean, Jess?
Yeah.
Okay, so Jess, why don't you take it from here?
All right, so we're going to take a look at the effect of global warming in the United States and then compare that to what is happening in Europe. So first, let's take a look at some footage of Utah wildfires. This is from CBS.
Wildfires have also proven deadly. 3 firefighters were killed, 2 others burned, battling flames along the Colorado-Utah border. And tonight, the fire threat you can see right there is extreme in these western states.
All right, so more about the summit fires here.
So fire crews making progress on a wildfire that's burning here in northern Los Angeles County. This is a mid-hour heat wave. It's called the Summit Fire. It's now 8% contained, but it's scorched more than 2,600 acres as of this morning. And that fire is burning along the LA County and San Bernardino County line in the Antelope Valley. Now, firefighters responding aggressively. We've seen quite the aerial assault, even a military C-130 aircraft assisting, as well as a dozen helicopters and fixed-wing aircrafts dropping water on those flames that are burning into the Angeles National Forest. Well, it's also impacting surrounding communities as nearly 600 people are under evacuation orders or warnings.
But we begin with the extreme heat that is baking much of the country. More than 125 million Americans are under heat alerts. Ginger's tracking a high temp forecast as several cities hit daily records. It's a scorcher in Salt Lake City, and that's where Kana Whitworth starts us off. Good morning, Kana.
Yeah, Michael, good morning to you. So as you said, multiple cities throughout the West have already shattered their all-time heat records, and Salt Lake City is one of them.
Rapid City could go for a daily record today at 102. We go from Denver at 97 to Minneapolis, same number. These are on the order of 10 to 20 degrees above average.
Massive mudslides in Utah after parts of the Northeast were hit by a powerful storm system. Ginger's tracking all the new threats. Good morning again, Ginger.
Good morning to you, Michael. All it takes is an inch or so of water hitting a burn scar like they had in Beaver County, Utah. So that was from the Cottonwood fire. And then you get up to an inch and a half, really, and you get these debris flows and mudslides, at one point covering parts of the interstate, I-15, and shutting it down.
Can you imagine? That's an inch and a half of rain, folks. That's all, right? I mean, that's a drop in a bucket. And see what happened? All this stuff runs wild, right? Because global warming and the fires that come along with global warming, they destroy everything. And when it rains, you just turn into a big mudslide. That's unbelievable, right?
Absolutely.
What about Alaska, Jess? We got something for Alaska?
We do have something for Alaska, yes.
Good. Alaska's always cold, right?
You would think. Not this summer.
First ever heat alerts have been issued in the state of Alaska, specifically a heat advisory in the Fairbanks area, and then also a special weather statement due to excessive temperatures across other portions of that region where temperatures are going to be pretty hot this weekend. Now, there is a caveat there to remember with the fact that these are the first ever heat advisories, heat alerts issued, and that is because specifically these offices could only start issuing them as of June 2nd of this year. But temperatures are going to be pretty hot this weekend, mid to upper 80s. And for those people that are like, well, that doesn't really sound like it's very hot, keep in mind this is Alaska. A lot of these buildings aren't built to withstand or stay comfortable in these kinds of temperatures, and a lot of them don't use air conditioning for central cooling.
Go ahead, Jess, keep going.
Yeah, all right. Well, yeah, so that's problems in Alaska. So let's take a look at some of these photos from Arizona.
Arizona, right?
Yeah. So let's pull this up. This is from Reuters. Okay, picture 1 here. We're looking at low water levels in the San Carlos Reservoir near Peridot in Arizona. Following a catastrophically bad snow year, demand from farmers and towns has drained the reservoir to 1% capacity.
Yeah, Jesse, that bad snow year, that's all due to global warming, because what happened this year was warm in the Rockies, and instead of getting snow, they got rain. And when it rains in the Rockies in the wintertime, you know what happens? You don't get snow, you don't get that melt, and you don't fill up these reservoirs.
Yeah.
That's the problem with global warming.
Yeah, they need it, yeah.
Yeah.
So this is photo number 2. Decades of drought, the hottest March on record, has deepened shortages across the region. So we're looking at low water levels at the base of the Coolidge Dam at the San Carlos Reservoir.
Yeah, 30 years, basically. We've had 30 years of a drought in this area, right? And that drought, if you look at our pictures in 1990, the global warming that NASA puts out, that basically just shows us that it's been going on for a long time, and Arizona's taking the heat of it, so to speak, Jess.
They are, yeah. No pun intended.
No pun intended.
Right. I think this is picture 4. A drone view shows fallow cotton fields and dry irrigation ditches at Kaywood Farms.
Hey, listen, I'll tell you how sharp I am. I had to look up fallow. I had no idea that meant that is stuff that's set aside that you don't have the resources, like the water for all intents and purposes in order to grow anything. So it's just dead land sitting there.
So cotton fields, those are former cotton fields you're looking at.
That's right. So they have no water to grow cotton.
That's right.
Get used to it, folks. Global warming.
Yeah. This is a new solar farm erected next door to Kaywood Farms in Casa Grande, Arizona.
Yeah. See, that cotton farm that we just saw, that's what needs to be done in Arizona. We need to Arizona gets a lot of sunshine, but maybe more than Florida, right, Jess?
Possibly, yeah. I think so.
Possibly,
yeah,
I can't rule it out. And that's what we need. But what the government has to do with that is that they got to, if you're capturing that energy, turning it into electricity, it has to be able to feed into the grid. And our government's been reluctant to hook, solar and wind up to the grid. And that's the problem. It's a federal government issue. They don't want to hook that up because they want to burn coal, natural gas, and oil, pollute the environment. And the oil companies and those entities, billion-dollar entities, will get rich because we'll have to pay for it.
That's right. And they're lobbyists, too.
Yes, and they're lobbyists. We don't even, that's a whole nother section.
It might be the next podcast. We'll see. So I think this is picture 12. This is the site of a future suburban housing development located in Santan, Arizona.
Yeah. Well, that site of that is they haven't built on it yet, and I think the reason they haven't built on it yet is they can't get water to it. Okay, so how do you build a housing site if there's no water? And the water comes to the Colorado River, and we're going to find out a little later what the problem with the Colorado River is, right, Jess?
All right, we got problems with the Colorado River.
Global warming in Eastern Europe. We just looked at America, so let's take a quick peek at what's going on in Europe.
Yeah, here's what's going on in Europe with the European heat wave.
This summer, Europe has witnessed something truly extraordinary. The continent just broke heat records that had stood for over 50 years. Across country after country, old temperature highs from the 1970s fell like dominoes. This was not an ordinary burst of summer heat. It was a moment that will go down in history. Many people in Europe have grown used to warm summers, but this June, scientists measured temperatures never seen before in living memory. The numbers were shocking, with some places surpassing previous records by several degrees Celsius. June 2026 will be remembered as the month Western Europe's climate crossed a line. Across Europe, countries set new all-time June records, smashing those from the 1970s. In Denmark, temperatures reached 35.6 degrees Celsius, or 96 degrees Fahrenheit, beating the 1975 record by nearly 2 degrees. France recorded an astonishing 42.3 degrees Celsius, which is 108 degrees Fahrenheit, in Toulouse, while Paris sweltered at 40.1 degrees Celsius, or 104 degrees Fahrenheit. In Spain, Cordoba saw the mercury hit 44.2 degrees Celsius, or 111.5 degrees Fahrenheit. The Netherlands, famous for bicycles and canals, experienced a stifling 38.1 degrees Celsius, or 100.6 degrees Fahrenheit, in De Bilt, beating any previous June temperature since measurements began. Switzerland, too, felt the heat, with Geneva reporting 37.5 degrees Celsius, or 99.5 degrees Fahrenheit, surpassing records dating to the 1970s. These are not just numbers, they are milestones that tell a story of a changing world. These record highs brought waves of power outages and transport delays. Asphalt melted on roads and train tracks buckled in the afternoon sun. Scientists say there are several reasons. First, greenhouse gas emissions are high in Europe, trapping more heat in the air. Second, the surrounding oceans are getting warmer, which keeps temperatures higher on land. Cities also create urban heat islands. Concrete, glass, and asphalt soak up heat during the day and release it at night, making cities warmer than the countryside.
Hey, yep, it's global warming. You can't get away from it. It's everywhere. We could go to South America, go to Australia, we could go to China, Mongolia, Russia. It's everywhere. You can't get away from it. It is global warming, and it's happening now, okay? And it's going to get worse in time. Right, Jess?
That's right.
Okay, move on. Let's go. What else we got?
All right, Spain wildfire.
Some of the most devastating wildfires on record ravaging southern Spain, with firefighters struggling to contain them. Flames tearing through wooded areas as hundreds race to escape, while many remain missing. The fire may have started when a power cable came loose and fell on a patch of dry land. So far, more than 140,000 acres have burned, making up 40% of all the area burnt in the European Union. This comes after an early summer record-breaking heat wave left large parts of the country parched, triggering an early start to wildfire season.
Yeah, we have the same thing in California. But, the power company out in California has lost cables, got hit with lightning or something. They fall on the ground, and that big Los Angeles fire that occurred last year, same thing, right? Everything's dry. Global warming. That's what it is.
Right.
Without a doubt, Yeah. And we, there's nothing we can do about it. If only we had a lot of water in the rivers, maybe we could get these fires shut out. Jess, what do you think?
Maybe.
Yeah, let's look at the Colorado River, because that's got a lot of water in it, right, Jess?
At one point it did. Let's see where it's at now.
It's a little bit of current. I don't want to sweep me away.
The river is so low in Laughlin right now, a man was able to walk all the way across it.
In summertime, it goes from, I have a mark on the pole, 2, 3, and 4, deep enough where we can actually jump in and dive in right here. It'll be that deep.
Seeing how low the water is, he got the idea to use a drone to follow him as he attempted to walk across the whole thing. On a sunny day earlier this month, he made it the whole way and back, and the river level was the lowest he'd ever seen it when he made the walk.
So we are kind of at the mercy of the dam of how much they want to give it.
He says he's never seen it this low for this long.
It's odd that it's going on this long.
Water levels all along the Colorado River are a balancing act for the Bureau of Reclamation, as the river supplies water for 7 U.S. states: Arizona, California, Colorado, Nevada, New Mexico, Utah, and Wyoming, and the country of Mexico.
If you live in those 7 U.S. states, you're going to be thirsty, folks, because there's no water anymore. It's dependent on big snowfall, depending on cold air in the mountains. So the snow stays there, and it melts slowly over time and feeds the Colorado River. Those days may be gone forever. Right, Jess?
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah, David Muir, he was checking that out for us, wasn't he?
Yeah, he toured the Colorado River recently.
He did, yeah. He was all over it.
Now you're getting your first glimpse of the architect of the canyon, the Colorado River. 1,450 miles through 7 states.
We can see the Colorado River snaking its way through the canyon. But we notice something else, too. There are parts of the canyon changed by climate.
So this rock formation that we're looking at used to be surrounded by water.
Correct.
Now completely surrounded by dry land.
Now, 70 years later, the sheer number of people who depend on the water from the Colorado River It's staggering.
So this dam right here is a reminder of what this river is being used for and the tens of millions of Americans who depend on this water.
40 million Americans rely on this water.
But on the other side of the dam, a looming crisis.
The fact that Lake Powell on the other side of this dam, which is supposed to be full because of this dam, it is no longer.
It's currently at about 23% full.
How concerning is that?
Very. It's alarming because we're in our third decade of drought that's impacted by a hotter, drier climate. We have too many straws in the drink, basically, and it's hard to claw that back.
So bottom line, Americans everywhere have a vested interest in the future of this river.
Completely.
Yeah, the vested interest is, folks, they grow food with that water in the United States. That water disappears. You know what you're going to have to pay for food? It'll be hard to find. We might have a serious crisis here, and no food and no fresh vegetables, nothing coming out of California or Arizona or any of those states that are doing the farming. The stuff we showed in Colorado was all dried out. Everything. It's major, major impact coming up. So 3 decades of drought. We can expect the electric generation of those dams, right, Jess? Basically, if 23%, it's like we're getting a 23% tax cut on Medicare, right? They're going to cut the Medicare by 23%. It's kind of an interesting number. And anyway, with that 23% full, it gets to a point, it goes so low, they won't be able to produce any electricity out of those dams. It's basically going to be a nightmare crisis as time goes on in the future with global warming.
And it's just going to get worse and worse with California, Arizona, Nevada developing as it is. So,
Those days may be over real quick.
Maybe. Here's more on the Colorado River crisis with PBS's William Brangham.
I'm William Brangham, and this is Horizons. About 1 in 10 Americans get their water from the Colorado River, but a worsening drought, driven in part by climate change, is drying up that river. States are now fighting over water rights. What does that mean for the communities and industries who depend on that water for their survival? And what is being done to help grant some urgently needed relief? The American West is running out of water. This is a crisis that has been building for decades, driven by a long, persistent drought, but it will likely come to a head this summer. Why? Thanks in part to climate change. This last winter was brutally warm, and so that heavy snow that is supposed to fall on the Mountain West didn't. Temperatures in March hit record highs. That snowpack, that frozen high-altitude bank of water, in good years is supposed to slowly melt and send water down into rivers and reservoirs to be used by millions. But that bank has barely any deposits left. Because of that, the Colorado River is slipping to record low levels, threatening the water supply for 40 million people across 7 western states. This is also a power crisis. The 2 reservoirs on the Colorado, Lake Powell and Lake Mead, generate hydroelectric power for millions. And those 2 colossal man-made lakes are also near their record lows. If water levels drop much further, those hydroelectric dams would stop working.
So you can see that global warming is impacting winter, which is making it warmer, impacting farmers along the Colorado River as they're facing severe water shortages.
Absolutely. We're in a terrible situation. It's going to get worse. Absolutely.
Yeah.
In the 1990s, global warming became a real serious problem, right, Jess?
Yeah.
And we've been showing that big picture from NASA of how, and we showed it earlier, on how it has warmed up dramatically. You just have to check previous podcasts. We kind of start off with that all the time.
Yeah.
In the United States, we're a country of industrial farming. As you can see, all those big farms that we had those pictures of earlier. In the future, when the volume of water is needed to support crop farming, it will not be available due to global warming. It will become a major crisis. There will be shortages of food, and the cost of food is going to go up dramatically. And everybody's worried about inflation, right? Well, let me tell you, it's going to go up dramatically with the cost of food with no water. If we don't have water, we don't get cheap food, folks, right?
That's right.
So let's look at the global impact in European rivers. I'm sure maybe they're doing a little better than the Colorado. What do you think, Josh?
I hope so,
I do. Yeah, let's take a close look at it.
First came the heat. Then the land began to surrender. Forests turned into fuel. Rivers retreated. The landscape itself started changing shape. Southern Europe is once again confronting the reality of a climate pushed to extremes, where soaring temperatures are no longer isolated events but part of a wider pattern. Spain is at the center of that crisis. A deadly wildfire continues to burn through the province of Almeria. The crisis does not end at Spain's borders. In France, the Loire, the country's longest river, has dramatically receded during an intense spell of heat. Large stretches that normally carry flowing water have been reduced to exposed sandbanks, creating scenes more commonly associated with drought-stricken deserts than Western Europe. Experts say prolonged high temperatures, reduced rainfall, and increased evaporation have combined to push water levels sharply lower. The shrinking river is disrupting ecosystems, affecting navigation and raising fresh concerns over water security. Scientists have repeatedly warned that climate change is making extreme weather more frequent and more intense across Europe.
Most interesting thing I heard here, and I want to repeat it, soaring temperatures are no longer an isolated event. When I grew up, they'd have a heat wave, right? Might last 2, 3, 4, 5 days, and it would cool down, right? And then maybe 2 weeks later, you get another heat wave for a couple of days.
Yeah.
It doesn't work like that anymore, folks. With the global warming, it's just all the time now. I've been putting stuff on last 2 or 3 podcasts showing all the high temperatures in the United States. They have the same. It's a worldwide problem.
Mm-hmm.
This is not going away. It's worldwide. It's out of control. Let me see. I lost my place here just now.
Yeah. No. So, it's a worldwide problem. Siberia is among one of the fastest warming regions on Earth. Greenland, Iceland, Siberia. We're losing icebergs in Antarctica. Yeah. It's a worldwide problem.
That's right. Yes.
And as we see, there are serious problems in European rivers.
Got that right,
Europe
Chris.
is in the grip of its most extreme drought in decades. Record-breaking heat waves linked to climate change have dried up rivers across the continent and sent water reserves plummeting to historic lows. Scientists have warned that scorching summers and drier winters will likely become the new normal due to human-induced global warming.
Europe's rivers are disappearing. Italy's Po is yet another casualty of the severe drought gripping much of the continent. The river would normally be teeming with tourists. Instead, its drying bed is littered with empty boats. Those living near Italy's longest river say the situation is unprecedented. With the Po relied upon for keeping rice fields like this one irrigated, farmers are warning of devastating consequences for the region known as Italy's breadbasket. Spain is facing similarly dire conditions, with reservoirs falling to their lowest levels since 1995.
All right, why don't we cut that there?
This is going to happen in the West. California, Nevada, Arizona, Oregon, wherever. Any place they're growing, they're relying on the Colorado River. As you can see, this river in Italy, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's basically, for all it's a little trickle now. It's basically a non-event, right, Jess?
That's right. That's right.
Yes, tell me, have you any idea what the 10 warmest records recorded globally? What years they were?
Yeah,
we
looked
kind
this
of run
up.
that. If you have that, could you run that down for us?
I'll tell you. Yeah, the 10 warmest years on record: 2024, 2023, 2025, 2020, 2016, 2019, 2017, 2015, 2022, and 2018. All very recently.
If I'm not mistaken, did they all occur in the last 10 years?
They 10 or 15, yeah.
No,
There's a 2015 in there, but yeah.
No, 15. Look again, Jess. 10 years, the last 10 years, right?
Yes.
Every single year in the top 10 warmest years on record has occurred within the past decade.
Yes.
And, you know, I know our president doesn't believe in global warming, but, man, I don't know what it would take him to swing him over, Jess. What do you think?
Oh, no. They like to say facts over feelings. Well, there's the facts right there.
Facts over feeling, right? Hey, I call this global warming, right? It's basically this is a shame on us, the citizens of this country, the United States. We allow our government to continue to go down a disastrous path by ignoring global warming. Our government is changing all the important environmental guidelines, using the EPA to do that. These changes will only increase the effect of global warming in the future. But our government, which I'm kind of referring to President Trump, he calls that global warming is a hoax.
That's right. So Bill, who has sponsored the global warming nightmare we're currently living with today?
Basically, they were sponsored by big oil companies, and I'll have more on that next week. What the oil companies are, we'll pick up right there next week.
Okay, you want to pick that up?
Yeah,
sure.
We got about 30 minutes, and that's pretty good. I might want to make a little closing statement here.
Okay, yeah.
Before you shut me, I'm paying by a minute here, folks. You know, so it's very important to get as many minutes as I can. Hey, let's see here. Where was I? Oh yeah, I was dedicating this to what, the Forever Trumpers, right?
Right.
Yeah, okay. Well, hey, Forever Trumpers. This is me. That's where we are, folks. We have global warming. You can argue with that if you want, but if you look at what's going on, there's no argument you can make to convince anybody. The global warming future, we see, we're going to look at it next week going forward and who the culprits are historically. It's time to vote out those global warming deniers, okay? Anybody denying global warming, I don't know how you could possibly vote for them, all right? Yeah. So you need to look hard. You got to pay attention. You just go out and check a name because they have a D or an R next to their name. Government for the people, by the people, Jess, doesn't exist anymore. It's government by the billionaires, and the billionaire corporations, right?
Unfortunately.
And they got the right guy in the White House, Donald J. Trump. And basically, all you folks that are forever Trumpers, you have been deceived by our president, in my opinion, okay? Because he's saying global warming is a hoax. And I hope I was able to show you today it really isn't. It's real. It's going to get worse. It's going to be inflation, cost of food. It's going to be terrible. So that's what I have to say about that, Jess, and I can't thank you for giving up your vacation. But I have one problem, Jess.
What's that, Bill?
You've been on 2 vacations, and you never invited me to go with you. I'm getting a complex over that, Jess.
Maybe we'll save a spot for you on the next one.
All right, fair enough.
All right, thanks for watching Wake Up America with Bill Crafton. I'm Jesse. That's Bill. We'll see you next week.
God willing, and I hope please don't rise.
They might not ever.
We want the creek to rise, though,
yeah,
right?
we do. All right. Take care, everybody.